What's up? Welcome back to the masterclass. 5 tips with the master in class right now. This is episode 5, yo.
I guess that makes me the 5-minute man. Small joke.
We're starting there.
Yeah.
So Bobby's been a great friend of mine and a lot of things that I've been working on over the last 10, 11 years. But I'm gonna give you like the quick intro setup on why Bobby's here today. This is all about you, my man. Formerly educated Bachelor of Commerce, Marketing and Retail Management at Ryerson, my alumni.
Yes.
Big Rye High, I love it. You've also got a digital photography education background from George Brown. Was that a passion thing?
It was a passion thing, yeah.
Yeah, paparazzi on the side.
Oh yeah.
From a work experience perspective, previously, before the current position, you were the marketing manager at Pearson Education Canada, and currently you're the national account manager at Client Flow Technologies, right? Full service agency, doing everything from content to tech.
Yeah.
Cool.
Everything in a nutshell.
And of course, one of the big reasons why you're here is you're the founding board member of Sapna.
Yes.
Right? Sapna is what we're going to talk about. Of course, also how all of his life enables him to do what he does with Sapna. And last but not least, founder and CEO at 4-Eyed Media. I like the name, man. What's the background on the name?
Okay, well, the background behind 4-Eyed Media is that my former partner, her and I were still great friends, but like she went to do her MBA. Her name is Angela. Hi, Angela. You're probably not watching, but
Angela!
but basically, I used to call her a nerd all the time.
Because she was picking up my glasses too.
Because she was such a nerd, but like I meant that in a good way. Then I thought, and I used to call her 4 Eyes. And the next thing you know, I was like, how about 4-Eyed Media? Because I just think that there's a lot behind the actual name besides being a nerd. I'll probably be explaining a novel to you on that, but I just think that like having different visions is a big part of what the actual business represents, which comes with the whole 4-Eyed Media.
That's dope, man. That's really good. From a day-to-day perspective, and I call this a 9-to-5 hustle, being an account manager.
Yes.
What are some of the skill sets that let you do that?
Oh, you gotta talk to people. You gotta learn how to talk to people and learn how to easily transition yourself into having your clients understand what you're doing. Because especially, and I guess you can relate to this as well, is that when you have clients and when you are in the digital marketing space, many clients might have an idea how it's done. Yeah. Some clients don't at all. Therefore, some hand-holding, ways to kind of ease them into the process, convince them that this whole thing is actually working for you. Also, metrics, return on investment, all that kind of stuff is important when dealing with that role. Also, you have to have a good eye in regards to how things are done as well. You have to, be more hands-on with the role. You have to, be a well-rounded person for the role itself.
And you take the first hit.
You take the first hit,
People don't understand that. Like when you're an account manager, and I've had the pleasure of working with some great account managers, and they take the first hit, man.
Yeah.
And you need that. You need the people that can take the first hit and then bounce back and represent the shop. So.
Exactly, and when you're in a client-facing role, you get tougher. It strengthens you along the way, right? Because I just think that when you're the first one who takes a hit, you have a good way to defend yourself, and of course, not that I'm talking about confrontation, but I think in a way to be the actual face of the company.
Yeah,
and I think maybe Sonia Gill, who's hi Sonia, also a good friend as well. And I also learned a lot from her on that by actually finding out how she deals with people and how she manages things. And I just think that she's actually another good example. of that. Yeah. So
she was episode 2 for us, and lots of great feedback from her. Let's talk about Sapna.
Yes.
Okay? Give me a bit of how long you guys been around, and then sort of the starting of it. Why did Sapna come to existence, and do some of those philosophies from early still carry through, and what is Sapna today?
Okay, so I will just kind of go to the beginning of everything and tell you exactly how it started. Okay. I could either go a little before that too, but I'll kind of tie them in together. So the way it started, okay, so what happened was I lost my job. Pearson, they laid me off because they went through a reorganization. I'm not going to
see how we held back?
Yeah.
That's what account managers do.
Yeah. But I'm not bitter about it. But either way is that, when you get let go from a job, even though it's not performance related, you still think to yourself, why me, not anybody else? How the hell did I fuck up and nobody did?
Yeah.
Like, why was I like, the short end of the stick? Why didn't they fire Jimmy over there?
Yeah.
Why me? So therefore, there's a lot of why, a lot of neglect and all that kind of stuff. And next thing you know, you're like, okay, what do I do now? I'm back at square one. I'm married. I got financial obligations. I need to get back out there, but then I'm not as good as I was before because I was so comfortable the whole process of things.
Right. You get a little sunk into the couch a little.
Yeah, never be comfortable with what you do in life because when you get comfortable, then you don't know how to go back and transition yourself. So that's kind of like, But anyways, so meanwhile, I was going to different events. I was going to different networking events, I went to networking events with the drive to network, but not knowing how to network. So if that makes any sense.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like you show up, but you don't have a purpose.
Yeah,
exactly. You're just there, warm body.
Exactly. You're just there for a purpose. This creepy dude comes to an event here to meet a bunch of strangers, and I'm a stranger as well. What do I do?
Yeah.
So I started going to events, and I actually really liked them. I met a lot of good friends along the way. I met a lot of helping hands. And I also went to a lot of like-minded things because I'm in marketing. I feel that I'm a born and bred, I'm a bred marketer. I don't know if I was a born marketer, but either way, it's a love that I have.
Yeah.
Not that I'm saying that I won't do anything else, but anything that I wanted to do at the time was marketing. So meanwhile, going to these events, I was thinking to myself, this is pretty cool. And when you meet the right contacts along the way, you learn a thing or two about how to host. You learn a thing or two about how to put the nuts and bolts together to network. And also you develop your skills as well with networking. Yeah. So what type of skills do you develop along the way? People skills. When you're in a little cubicle at work every day, you don't really have any people skills, especially like when you are a marketing manager. Being a marketing manager at Pearson, I wasn't really client facing.
Right. But also don't want to give away the tip yet.
No tip yet.
So keep me on okay, you lost your job. Now you're what do I do? You went to a bunch of events. Yeah. At what point did Sapna get into your soul?
Okay, so what happened was I was doing a lot of research. I was doing a lot of research into other organizations that were taking place, and I saw, a lot of cool organizations that are doing some great things in the community. So then I thought, okay, so then community is a big thing as well, because when you're part of this community, then you have a network to bank off of.
Right.
And when you look at the South Asian aspect of things, I went to, and I think, and Nav, hi Nav. Nav was actually part of, we all know each other, we're all friends here. So Nav, Nav was part of a group called Network of Indian Professionals, NetIP.
Oh, NetIP. Yeah. Never said that guy. Yeah, okay.
And then there's also the Indo-Canadian Chamber of Commerce.
Which Kundan talked about earlier.
Yeah. Hi, Kundan. I know him too. But either way.
I hope so. You're the king of networking.
Oh, yeah. Well, at least I try to be. But anywho, a lot of these organizations are really, really well gelled, and they have great functions behind them. And I thought to myself, okay, well, I live in Scarborough. I'm Punjabi. I don't know anything about the Pakistani, Bengali, or the Sri Lankan community. I'm just one Punjabi guy, and that's part of a whole different environment. Meanwhile, I started to connect with different cultures. Start to connect with the Tamil community, Sinhalese. Start to connect with the Bengali, because there's a lot of those communities in Scarborough. I'm not your Brampton Punjabi guy, because that's where we flood those gates over there. And so as I kind of broke off into that environment, certain stereotypes were going out the window too. And let's be real, when you're brown, when you're South Asian, we're the most racist people on planet Earth. I'll give you that. We're very racist because we're born and brought up to not gel with a particular culture, to not gel with a particular caste.
We're given boxes, man, at birth.
Yeah, we're given boxes at birth. So why is that the case? Why am I obligated to not like a certain community? You might even hear our elders saying, you know what, don't deal with those people. Don't do that to you. Don't do this to you. Look at our history with these people. But no, we live in Canada. I'm a Canadian. I'm South Asian, but I'm also Canadian as well. I don't look at that. I look at the value of what people bring. And so along the way, I saw a lot of value out of these communities. Another group was called Sri Lankan Without Borders.
Yeah, I know those guys.
Yeah, so Sri Lanka Without Borders, they're a great organization. And these are the people that actually were kind of an inspiration with Sapna Toronto, because one of my...
I had no idea. Vijay will be, Vijay used to work with Sapani.
Vijay Sapani and another one, Kumarinda Dis and those guys. Like, I learned a lot from those guys. And I'm aware of the actual political things that are taking place on that part. I didn't even know that till I came here, because I was in that box.
Yeah.
You kind of like, I don't even know what's happening in the Sri Lankan community. I don't know what's happening. But then when you learn more about it, then you think to yourself, okay, these guys are making an effort to break down cultural barriers. So then why can't we break down even more cultural barriers in the South Asian community? So when I featured you and a bunch of other people, remember that event that we had last time? Yeah. That event was fun. It was kind of fun and games, but the reason why I did that is because I wanted to show a representation of different cultural communities. We had yourself. We had Samra Zafar, who represents the Pakistani community. We had Syed Selvam. He represents the Trinidad/Sri Lankan community. We had Parminder Singh, who represents the Sikh community, wears a turban and all. And we had Yvonne Sinai. She represents the Sri Lankan community. So these are all, this is total representation of the South Asian community, and I wanted every single one of those cultures to be there, which is why that was very important to me.
So it was one of the early visions on Sapna to be this melting pot?
Exactly. Because another tidbit that I want to, not tidbit, but anecdote I want to share is that I went to a presentation by, it was an actress. She's from California. Her name is Sharon Muthu. I'm not sure if you were. Sharon Muthu, she's a Sri Lankan actress. She was in such shows as, I think it was Desperate Housewives and Blackish were two shows that she was. I think she did a couple more as well. She was a supporting cast member. She said this. She was like, when you go down to California, when you see because there's a lot of the Latino community over there. She said that when you go to California, they don't say, I'm Mexican, I'm Puerto Rican, I'm from El Salvador. It's like, no, we're Latino. So why aren't we doing that in the South Asian community? Why do we have to be a particular, why are we creating boundaries within ourselves? I don't get it. We're South Asian, but yet at the same time we are Canadian. We came to this country to get to know other cultures, not to separate ourselves from anybody. So why are those values still here to separate ourselves from all these other cultures that bring a lot of value to us? And these values will heighten our education, not our book smarts, but not our book smarts, not just our street smarts, but also our smarts on a cultural level as well. We learn more about each other, and we learn more that Sathish is not a bad guy. He's from a different culture.
That's still debatable. I think jury's out on that still. But, let's see. So Sapna forms.
Yeah.
How old are you guys now?
It's going 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, give or take. Yeah.
That's like when I asked you, like, how long you been married? You have the same look.
Yeah.
So 4 or 5 years. And so with all the stuff that you've seen, all the stuff that you've heard, all the people that you've connected, let's get right into, if you're out networking and you're trying to build a brand, you're trying to meet other people, here are 5 actionable tips from the man himself who spends all of his time thinking about how to connect communities.
Yeah.
Tip 1.
Okay, so I don't know if this is, like, I was trying to find out tip titles, but I don't really have a title for each tip. I'm just
Tell me what it is.
Just going to kind of give you, like, steps. Whatever. Yeah. So number 1 is presentation. How do you present yourself? So if I'm going to go to an event, I should really, really pay attention, or I should really focus on my attire. That means you're out there, you're dressed to kill. You're there for a purpose. You're there to represent yourself in a professional manner.
Right.
I'm not saying come out with a suit and tie, business casual. I'm not saying to invest in tailored clothes. I'm saying to, buy some, presentable clothes that you would wear to work. Also, be an individual who would be approachable in that matter too. If I see a person that comes to an event and they're dressed nice. I'm going to go up to them and shake their hand. I'm like, you are somebody there for a purpose. You're to take this event seriously. I got to take you seriously as an event host.
Right.
That's what I think. I think that if a person's going to make the effort, I need to make the effort to connect with them.
Right. That's a great way to say it. Yeah.
Vice versa. And if it's something that I hate, I'm sorry to kind of get this out there. When somebody comes to a professional event wearing t-shirt, jeans, and a backpack is okay because we're coming from work and whatnot. But if you're coming like this, who's going to take you seriously? I understand that you're still developing yourself, right? And there might be some growing pains along the way. I'm not saying that makes you an unprofessional person, but my advice to you is that when you go and network, always think about the presentation, because first impression means a lot.
Yeah, and maybe from a context perspective, to add to that, it's about dressing for the right event.
Exactly.
So if you're going to a Sapna event and everybody's there as a working professional, then at a minimum you should be Friday casual. Yeah. At a minimum.
At
right?
a minimum, yeah.
But if you come into a desiFEST music artist mingle night, it's cool to rock jeans and a t-shirt and a chain.
Of course.
Because in that environment, that's the image that portrays sort of your connectiveness.
100%.
So maybe it's about, think about what you wear, knowing that your attire matters.
Yeah.
Because how you present yourself based on the event sets the tone for the evening, if I can say that.
Yes, that's the tone.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I just think that, and I think you nailed it right there when you said, like, it all depends on, like, what type of environment that you're going to be part of, too. And, like you said, like, business casual, that kind of stuff. But if it's something that's going to be, like, a suit and tie event, come. But if, like, event, that's a music-related event, and you have a lot of industry-related professionals, by all means, come to what, come based upon that particular preference. So, yeah.
So tip 1, figure out what you're going to dress or wear, but focus on what you're going to do based on the event you're going to. Yeah. Not just drop something in because it feels good. Tip number 2.
So I call this smile, but not just a smile on your face. But although you want to keep a smile on your face, but you don't want to be that guy who's coming into an event looking like this. Those don't want to talk to me. Hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. What do you do for a living? Either way, I have a natural stank face, but like even when I'm thinking, but either way, I guess what I'm trying to say is
hashtag natural stank.
Natural stank face. But either way, is that it's important that you have a positive demeanor when going to an event. And I want to share something at your event actually. There's an individual, great kid. I even connected with him afterwards. He's the artist from Australia. Hash.
What up, Hash?
Hi, Hash.
Hash is our boy.
No, Hash is a really good kid, and he brought a lot of positive energy.
Yeah.
I never seen a guy so happy to be at an event.
Yeah,
he's going to everybody, shaking hands.
Woo!
He's like, "I'm Hash. How are you?" But he did it in a genuine way.
Yeah.
Like he was very genuine in regards to that. And I'm like, okay, I'm learning something from you. Like, how do we smile and be genuine and actually go to the right people? And you're basically like a pinball going to different places, going to different corners, networking with people, and also making an impact along the way. And he approached me. I didn't approach him, but he did it for the right reason because he knew he was in Toronto. I'm from Australia. I'm an artist. I need to make the most of what I want to do with my. He took his career seriously, or he's taken his career seriously. Although I think he's still at the earlier phases right now.
Oh yeah.
But someone like him is going to come a long way, not just based on how talented he is, but also how much hustle he brings in terms of meeting the right people. So I give him a lot of credit for that. But when you're positive and when you smile, you also turn into a magnet. As well.
Okay.
You know that people will not be intimidated by you. People will be comfortable around you, and also, you're creating the right
openness and invitation.
Yeah, you're creating the right openness and invitation, like how you said, because you want to leave an event for people to remember you too. You remember that guy? Yeah. This kind of like how I was talking about Hash. That's exactly the impression that he left for me, and I just thought that he'd be a great person to connect with.
No, that's amazing, man. So tip number 2, go with a smile. And what we mean by that is not really just having a goofy smile, but be open, show some openness, right? And if you do that, hopefully you become the right magnet for the right people you want to attract.
Exactly.
That's dope. Tip 3.
Okay, so this is a crucial one. And actually, I'm sorry because I actually wrote some notes beforehand.
It's cool, man.
I'm not trying to read it, but because so this might overlap with a few other things as well. But I want to call this one "Be Organic," because there's a lot of fake people when you go to an event. I'm just gonna be really.
Okay. Real. I wanted to talk about that too.
Yeah, because in terms of that is that you want to be a person who comes with a lot, who's very genuine when you go to an event. You're not there to push cards. You're not there to, you might have an objective of going to an event. However, it's important that you leave a lot of things at the door, such as your pride. Leave your pride at the door. Come in with your hustler, killer instinct if you're looking to sell a service.
Right.
However, don't shove it down people's throats. If anything that I hate seeing a person, come to me and be like, hey, I actually had a person who wanted to pitch me at home at a networking event. I'm like, you don't even know me. I don't even know, don't you have to run a credit first?
Hey, Bobby, it's a great event. You want to move? I got a house for you tonight.
Yeah. Some people are really, really I don't get it but I guess I don't condemn her for doing that because she's hustling. There's a time and place to hustle.
Yeah.
When you get that lead call, when you get that meeting, that appointment, if I'm going to set an appointment, then you hustle your home at me.
Right.
Not when I'm at an event, trying to meet people from different walks of life. It's not, you don't bring it then, you bring it afterwards.
Yeah.
When you meet the right people, you know who's going to be right to connect with afterwards, right? There's always that's part of the next step that I want to talk about. But definitely come in with a purpose. But also at the same time, don't shy away of who you are and what you do as well. I'm not saying go ahead and sell that home, but don't be shy to talk about, hey, I'm a realtor. Or, hey, I started a business, I started an agency, and I want to meet the right people to help me grow. That's exactly what you're there to do. You're there to grow.
So it's that elevator pitch.
Exactly, the elevator pitch. And then if there's chemistry, then you say, listen, we can talk about this afterwards, but let's grab a drink. Not that I'm saying you have to drink, but I'm just saying that comes with the whole comfort phase that I was talking about before. Make them feel comfortable. Be yourself. The best version of you is your real you. At the end of the day.
Yeah, be authentic, right?
Be authentic, yeah. And people can smell BS from a mile away. Now, this is something that I want to be very candid about because you and I, we talked about this beforehand. But when you go to a network, there's a lot of thirsty dudes. not that I'm saying there's anything wrong with being thirsty, but then at the same time, if you're going to be going to a network and event, don't be so transparent the fact that, hey, I want to date tonight. I'm being serious.
Real talk.
Yeah, real talk. There's a lot of, and I say the word dudes. I'm sorry because it's 99.9% of 99% of these people are dudes. But either way, it's not.
Yeah, they come with this need to turn it into a pickup event.
Yeah, I don't blame them because if you're going to a networking event, you're meeting people. You might meet somebody that you might find interesting. But if you do that, make stages and getting to know them. Similar to going back to the whole business talk.
Yeah, and part of it is supply demand, bro. To be honest, I met my wife 15 years ago, so I haven't been single, but I know a lot of single dudes, and there's a lot of single dating events and dating mingle thing for non-South Asians.
Yeah.
But all of the South Asian events is set up always as a networking event.
Of course.
It's almost like that parent mindset, right? Don't have fun, but be a doctor, and then you're like. Don't meet girls, but go network.
Yeah.
Or don't meet a guy, but go network and talk about your business, and maybe you'll meet a nice guy. So there's also this really interesting cultural thing that fits in.
Yeah,
right?
Big time. And I think that from a culture perspective, that we are networking, but we don't have to always create boundaries with that either. Because I'll be honest with you as well, I'm not against the whole, single dudes wanting to meet the opposite gender. I'm totally for that, but I just think that there's a way of doing it.
Yeah.
You don't want to be that creep. You want to be the sincere, fun-loving person that's very interesting, that people want to get to know, whether if you're single or not.
Right.
If I'm a female, yes, I want to get to know you. If I'm a male, if I'm whatever, if I know that you're a good person, I have a lot of credibility, and I want to partner and grow with you, I want to get to know you.
Right.
So it works both ways. Right. And just to talk. And also, I just want to talk about this really quickly on that third topic, is that there's something called small talk versus passionate talk.
Break it down.
Yeah, so the elevator pitch is a small talk. This is who I am. This is what I do. Yada, yada, yada. Here's my business card. But the passionate talk about what people care about. A lot of times people don't really care about the fact that you're a realtor. I might not need a home right now. However, if we're talking about, current events, if we're talking about what really matters,
Right.
what you want to achieve, what you want to change, ask questions. Don't talk. I mean, ask questions first.
Yeah, and don't just be like,
Don't-
verbal
yeah.
diarrhea.
Yeah, don't be verbal
I
diarrhea.
am, and then you're like, all right, I gotta go.
Yeah, the verbal I call that self-spyware.
Yeah.
Because you're basically spywaring people all of their information without even being asked that question, because people don't really care. Yeah. But ask questions when you meet people, because people will look at the authenticity, being genuine, and at the same time, it also opens people up when you have passionate talk versus small talk. So that's what I kind of want to end off with the third tip.
No, that's cool, man. So third tip, there's a bunch of stuff in there. So everything from be organic, have an objective, but leave the ego behind.
Oh, yeah.
Look for chemistry versus just pitching people.
Yes.
Nav talked about this. Sonia talked about it. Almost everybody on the masterclass so far talked about it. Be you. At the end of the day, that's what people really want to connect with. Whether you're at a professional networking event, at an after party, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Be you. Tip number 4, my man.
So this one I want to honestly, I'm contradicting this myself right now. Well, because I'm looking at my cell phone right now, and I'm just being honest, because I just took notes. That's all it is. But it's called eliminate distractions. And I'm not distracted. I'm really focused on this event right now. I really am. Please believe me. So, but what I'm saying is that what the whole concept of eliminate distractions is that what that really means is that when you go to an event, you're there to meet people. You're not there to be on your cell phone the whole time. You might, because nowadays with today's technology is that it might be subconscious for you to be in your cell phone. But what really brings you on your cell phone at an event is because of the fact that you go into an event, you're shocked, oh my God, all these people. Then you go right to a corner, then you go on your cell phone and look busy. You do that. But meanwhile, you're at a networking event to meet other people. So why are you connecting with why are you on Tinder at an event? Or why are you texting, random people that are not there? Quite frankly, when I see people at an event that come in pairs, I like to separate them.
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't come to a networking event to hang out with your friend.
Yeah,
If that's the case, then go drinking next door.
Yeah, have dinner together before coming.
Yeah. Separate, meet other people, meet those people, join those people together, be a clique, not a clique, but be a crew, and then grow together afterwards.
Yeah.
But also during that, how do you actually prevent that? You prevent that by being in high traffic areas, because when you go to an event, you're going to have low traffic areas where people go on their cell phone, or go in high traffic areas. High traffic areas are areas where it's kind of like, just like business, location.
Are you talking about in an event where the bar is high traffic?
Yeah.
And then sort of the entrances are sort of low traffic?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of, because it's okay. Exactly. It's because you have a high traffic area, you have to meet people. You're right there. But you're in the zone right now. But I understand that people's anxieties might get in the way. But once people are there for the same reason that you are, there's no reason for you to be anxious.
Yeah,
shake your hand.
That's a great point. Yeah.
Also, I kind of want to. Actually, I'll talk about that afterwards. But either way, when it comes to get outside your comfort zone, because when you're networking, it's an inside-out approach, not an outside-in. What I mean by outside-in is that when you come to an event and you're that person who just gets shocked and you go to a corner and you go on your cell phone, it's like you're in a window and you're looking to see what's going on inside.
Right.
You're not in the actual moment. You're just basically looking in and be like, okay, hello. But you're already inside, and make the most of it.
Right.
See, when you host events, and I guess it's a little selfish way, I'm not selfish, but it's a low-hanging fruit when you host events. When you approach people at an event and you're the host, you're obligated to meet people.
It's a different vibe.
It's a different vibe,
Yeah.
but then people might know who you are, or they might want to know who's the host of the event. But when people see them, they're like, oh, hey, you're the person who put all this together. But at the same time, there's nothing wrong with you being coming across that person. Because you should be that person by saying, hey, it's great to meet you. My name is Bobby. What is your name? and things like that. Not that I'm saying you have to be awkward that way, but what I'm saying is that there's nothing wrong with being the big man on campus or the big woman on campus for an event, because you want to be a memorable person and you want to get noticed when you're going back to the whole topic of today's, the whole topic of today.
And you can't do any of that if you're distracted by your own technology and your own bubble.
Exactly.
Right? So get out of the bubble, eliminate distractions, and know that everybody there, or most of the people there, are exactly like you. They're there to meet other people.
Exactly,
This is a networking event, so everybody that shows up knows at some point in the night they're going to meet a stranger.
Of course, yeah. And you might even meet some people that will just, you'll be scared. Like, you might say, oh my God, that person's here. How do I approach them? How do I talk to them? Oh my God. Honestly, they're there for the same reason you are.
Yeah.
I think that whatever status that you have in life, you're still you should never stop growing.
Yeah.
And the same thing goes with the person who's there for that matter as well.
Yeah, that's a great way to look at the room, right?
Exactly.
So tip number 5.
All right, tip number 5 is, so we're talking about getting noticed.
Yeah.
But I think getting noticed should not just be at the event. It should be after the event.
Ooh,
and
okay.
this is like the biggest challenge when it comes to networking, is the follow-up. Because, and I challenge people to do this too as well. If you're the power networker and you're getting contacts, you're getting information, I challenge you to follow up with those people within a couple days, because it's so hard to do. But if you want to be noticed and if you want to create your mark, you have to follow up. You're there for a purpose. If you don't follow up, now, what the follow-up strategy is that you have to remember people's names, and I'm not the greatest person. I remember people's names.
I remember faces like that, but then I'm like, ooh.
Hey, you, yeah, you. Like everybody's name is you. but what I guess, but coming down to that is you always remember people's names, and always follow up in a way where people could remember you.
Yeah.
People will have when I get an email from somebody saying, hey, I met you at this event, and I do this and that, maybe we can meet together, talk, maybe we can see if we can grow together. I have a strong appreciation for that. And you can only keep so many business cards, but when you have, send an email, create a template. They don't have to know that's a template, but as long as they're being remembered is a very important step. Also, that is basically like that goes along with your whole purpose of networking. Because otherwise, if you don't do that, all that time and energy put towards dressing up, being pleasant, being the big person on campus, that's nothing if you don't follow up.
And very few people do that, right? Like I've met so many people where I used to give my cards. Now I'm like, hey, I'll give you a card if you promise to follow up.
Yeah.
And then most of them will say, cool. And then some of them will follow up without really knowing even what we talked about.
Yeah.
It's like this blanket template of like, hey, I met you. I've even had people email me with a template where they didn't change the name. And I'm like, what? You couldn't change the name to my first name? So at least I know you're trying. But we got 5 tips from the man himself, Bobby from Sapna. We've got tip 1, which is get ready, knowing the event, and dress appropriately, right? Tip 2, smile, be open, and invite others into your world so that you can actually engage with people. Don't be what did you say?
Stank face.
Stank face, okay? Step 3, be organic in your approach. Look for chemistry. Know there's a difference between small talk and having a passionate, engaging talk.
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, leave the friggin' ego at the door. Nobody needs it, okay? Tip number 4, eliminate self-distractions. You're there to network, so don't have a phone in your hand. Don't go to a corner. Of course, if it's an emergency or you're trying to meet people that are joining you, all that is cool. But your primary purpose of that night is to go and meet other strangers.
Exactly.
Right? And I love what you said about if you come in pairs, split
up.
You can always meet them later.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Those couple of hours is important for
That's
you.
your ride home.
And then the very last thing, which is great, is connect people with purpose and then follow up after.
Yeah.
Right? That's the whole point.
100%.
Right? So we got 5 tips from master class, and all of these are super actionable. Couple of quick follow-up questions from me. 1, how do you approach a crowd? There's a group of people talking. They're in heated, fun conversation, and you want to say hello. You want to get into it.
Yeah, so, and that's the thing, because it's like, let's just say if you have a crowd, you have different people that have different bubbles. You have different, people that are communicating. But I think that's the way you approach them, right? You don't want to be like, cut right in and be like, you don't want to interrupt anything. But you want to wait for the right moment to go into a crowd. Not that I'm saying you got to be a ninja or you're playing chess or whatever it might be. But in many cases is that, you have to find the right moment because people know, because I don't like being interrupted.
Yeah.
I want to meet people, but then if I'm having an intense conversation, I don't like being interrupted, and I don't want a person staring at me waiting until I'm done talking. Go around, meet people, shake your hand, all that kind of stuff, or just basically say, you might even find people that are by themselves as well.
Yeah,
that's a good starting point. Once you find that one person, you will then grow. You will snowball into when you join the actual crowd. It's like Andromeda, kind of.
And what about people that get right into your business and get super nosy? Like, hey, tell me about your company. How many staff do you have? How much money do you guys make? Are you hiring? What's the last? I'm like, geez, like, no foreplay?
Yeah. That's a good example. But that's a good question, because there's some people out there, they're not trying to. Sometimes I think that they're not trying to get into your business. They're just trying to get to know you. And I think that's kind of, and I also think that's kind of, it's a very brown thing too.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but
hey, tell me what village?
Yeah, what village was this and that? Oh, Papu. Okay, yeah. but I guess it all comes down to how you handle it.
Yeah.
Have you ever read the book, The 48 Laws of Power?
No, 48 Laws of Power.
Yeah. There's a passage in that book called "Always Say Less Than Necessary."
Say that again.
Always say less than necessary.
Okay.
Now but that's not based on the actual conversation, but it's from business talk.
Right.
So saying less than necessary is kind of, like, people will know when the actual topic is dismissed. So if you're going to say, how much money do you make? Well, in the past 5 years, the company has grown by 5%. And we're just growing. This year we're doing that. We're working with this many clients. That's it.
Topic over. Let's move on.
That's all you need to know about how much money I'm making.
Yeah.
Nosy about my personal life, or whatever it might be. I'm transparent.
Yeah.
Like, in terms of, like, if people want to know my personal life, they'll go on Facebook and look me up.
Yeah.
They'll see all my photos of my kid and everything like that, my wife, all that kind of stuff, who I associate with. Today's masterclass, whatever it might be. But either way, I just think that I just think that it all comes with the learning process, and I think that those people are just still they're figuring out the ways to network.
Yeah. Lots of good stuff today. If you're taking notes, sign up for Sapna, get to the next event, and practice. Practice. And if you can't make it to Sapna, check out meetup.com. Check out any one of these thousands of events that happen every single night in the city.
Yeah. There's tons. Toronto is a big networking space. If it's Sapna or not, it's a networking city, and just make the most of it, and you'll find a lot of great nuggets along the way.
So in closing, could you share maybe one story of a great thing that came out of the effort to Sapna and connecting people?
Oh man, yeah. Where do I start? I don't want to take up too much time, but to be honest with you, I'll just put it like this. Well, if it wasn't for Sapna, I wouldn't be here in the seat with you.
Okay, networking works.
Yeah, networking works because honestly, like, you have so much potential inside of you. But if you're not meeting the right people and if you're not growing with the right people, then those opportunities will not be there. I know it's kind of a fortune cookie type of thing to say because there's so many things that happen along the way, but I can give this as an example. It's pretty humbling knowing the fact that you had a lot of great people that Sathish had. Kundan Joshi. That guy's a rock star.
Yeah, he's a rock star.
Nav Namwa, he's a big-time community person. Sonia Gill, she's a warrior. Those are people that I would love to be next to, and now I have that opportunity to be part of that masterclass, and networking has brought me here. So thank you, Sathish, for that.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
And Bobby MC'd with Millie Soch at desiFEST.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that off camera and talk about his MC life. Thank you again for watching. This is episode 5. And as I said, the last episode and this episode, what we're trying to do is connect real people with real game plans for success. Everybody you've met on the masterclass is actually doing what they're talking about, putting it into motion, connecting with people. And these are rules that you can actually take and start to put into action tomorrow. And they're approachable. Their contacts are below. Get in touch, ask questions, make friends, build your tribes for success. It's your boy Sats.B. But my man, Bobby, we're out till the next time.